All right, Pit Man Matt Mark on the varsity here with Mountain Island Charter head coach Robert Washington. Coach, talk to me a little bit about yourself and your background.
First, I'm a players-friendly coach. Like, I'm big on my players. I feel like it's not about us as coaches. I mean, we can always get better as coaches, but we always should be getting better in the best interest of the young men that we serve or the young ladies that we serve. Big on what's best for our athletes. You know, get behind them, support them, not just on the field, but also, as you've seen, in the classroom.
Yes, sir.
This is our last day of character camp. I feel like this is our vital part of what we do as a football team is building that character, because our foundation is athletics, academics and character. That's our foundation. The walls and all the cosmetic stuff is pretty much your athletic ability. Because guess what? If a storm comes, it could blow down the walls, but that foundation is going to stay intact. So we try to get the kids to understand what's most important, and that's that academic success and that character.
Amen. Well said, Coach. Where did you get your coaching philosophy from?
You know what? Honestly, my coaching philosophy came from seeing it done the wrong way.
Okay.
And of course, when you're an assistant coach, you gotta be a good lead. You gotta be a good follower. I was always a good follower. I had some great examples of leadership, and I had some bad examples of leadership.
Oh yeah.
And so I said, you know what? When I get my opportunity to become a head coach, this is how I'm gonna run what I do.
Right.
So it kind of was shaped by examples. But one thing I did notice in one situation. X and O's, great X and O guy, but it was no feeling behind those X and O's. They were so caught up in running their system, running their play, and it looks good when you're drawing it up, even amongst the coaches. And the one thing that you don't put in a play is the fact that how's that kid gonna respond to it?
Right.
You know what? The kid from 2016 might not respond the way the kid from 2018.
Exactly.
So
it's crazy.
It got to be about it. And I mean, forcing these kids in the system, guess what? It wins championships. It do. And we got a lot of schools out here winning championships, and I salute them for the utmost. That's just their philosophy. I work a little bit different. I'm big on players and putting them in the best situation for them to be successful.
All right. Very good, Coach. What's the best game you've ever coached in?
Oh, that's a tough one. But you know what? Honestly, best game I've ever coached in was actually a loss.
Okay.
We was playing, it was community school at Davidson. It was my first year here. I had just took over the program, and I just remember, well, it was back-to-back weeks. Let me say this. I'm limited to 2 games.
Right.
Because in a span of 2 weeks, we got beat 99-0.
Oh, wow.
Now that was my first 2 games coaching. Think about it. Welcome to football, high school football as a coach. But I felt like I did my best job there, because it wasn't so much what we did on the field. It was about getting those kids to believe and learning how to lose. Some kids don't know how to lose.
That's true.
And when they lose, they think it's the end of the world. So when they get removed, because it's just a game, when they get removed from the game, and they take L's in life, they don't know how to take those L's, and they do something crazy. So just teaching my boys how to learn how to lose and be good losers. Not to say good losers, but just to be good sportsmen. You know, we Pine Lake came in here, beat us 42-0, kept their starters in, you know, kept pounding the ball down our throat. And I told the boys, keep fighting. They didn't score in the fourth quarter. End up playing community school. They end up just putting up a whole bunch of points on 50-something-0. And I told the boys, just stick in the game. The last 5 minutes of the game, they didn't score. So I always took something positive from that. So those are the best games. It's actually the losses.
Okay, excellent. Team goals for Mountain Island Charter this season?
One game at a time. Our slogan now is one voice, because I feel like if you got too many different voices in kids' ears, they get distracted. You know, it could be whatever, but our thing is working together as a team, and taking it a game at a time. What people don't realize is we coach. I coach in a great conference with good coaches. So every game you gotta be on your A game coaching wise.
Right.
I mean, you look at Bessemer City. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 head coaches on that staff. I mean, Larry Boone's a great coach. Coach at Union Academy, excellent guy. Pine Lake and Community School, Cherryville. We got some strong coaches in this conference. So from that standpoint, I always got to be on my A game when it comes to that. So they keep me on my toes. So we're just taking a game at a time because you can't really sleep on someone. You can go and maybe beat one team one week, and it might be a team with a lesser record than the team you beat, and you gonna get beat by them.
Yeah.
So just staying on our P's and Q's and just taking it a game at a time.
I've seen it happen in this same conference. You're exactly right. Some players we can look out for this year.
We're led by Marcus Graham, no question about it. Marcus is an outstanding young man. He's our quarterback. He's our leader. Next kid, I would say we got some leaders. Jake Hawkins, you see me talking with Jake Hawkins. Ryan Rudd, some guys that I know is going to stand out, hold our kids accountable. Because I always say you could be a good team led by your coaches, but a great team is led by the players. And they're taking that ownership. And I mean, we're going to have about 20 seniors this year, so we're going to be deep.
Oh, wow.
So we got guys, and I told the guys, like, I want to limit my discipline, meaning like having to get on young men for doing this and that. I want y'all to take ownership on it. Any state championship team I've ever been on, when I was at Southlake, you've seen the players, the seniors leading that particular group. So I'm giving them the same challenge. I had a couple of those players from Southlake come in and talk to them this summer and showed them what it looked like or gave them examples of what they could be doing better. So they're just taking that leadership. So Ryan Rudd, Jake Hawkins, Jordan Steele. Jordan's a kid I feel like he's developed maturity-wise. He always was a good player, but it was the young man that came up with the hat in the back, had his hat to the back. Great kid, man. I think he's going to be the difference maker for us. He's going to be that X factor, not just what he grew football-wise, because he's still the same football player, but he's grown as a young man. And that's the things that you starting to see it reflect with his teammates. We got kid Bryson Howe. Bryce has played more games than anybody in the history of Mountain Island Chart. He started as a 9th grader for us. So this is going to his senior year. So I'm looking for this young man to step up and take a leadership. Levante Kennedy's another kid. I mean, Vontae's a ball player, man. He's a good kid. I look forward to him jumping on the radar for some people. I feel like he's been slept on a lot. He does everything we ask him to do. But I think this year will be the year people are like, okay, who's that kid?
Exactly.
And I'll be real proud to see him take those steps and get the due that he deserves.
Excellent. Last question, Coach. What is the best thing about coaching in this area right here in Charlotte metro area?
Your interaction with these young men, helping shape their lives. I mean, on the field is what it is. As you can tell, Pep, I love football. I'm more competitive than just about anybody. And guess what? I mean, I don't got a bad coaching record. I do that well as also on the field. But it's about these kids, man. It's not about me. It's not about my coaches. And when you make it about yourself, I can't coach around you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about these kids. So every man that I have on this staff is 100% behind these kids and all about the kids and not about padding their resume, trying to get a job here or there. No, they're about these young men. And that's the biggest thing, is being able to watch a kid go from 9th grade to 12th grade, come in as a young boy maybe with some insecurities, and then graduate as a senior as a proud kid getting that diploma. That's the greatest thing about being a coach, seeing that development.
I am 100% with you, Coach. Like I told you in the classroom, I think you do an excellent job here. You're totally about the kids. And us at Carolina Varsity will support that 100 times out of 100, man. You're doing an awesome job here, and I know you'll continue to do that for years to come.
Well, and the thing is, you see, I'm a guidance counselor as well, so I come from a unique angle. My job at the school is to help kids go to college. If that's getting a football scholarship or getting an academic scholarship. So I love coming from that angle, wearing those two hats. It's the best feeling in the world.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for the invite. I love talking to you guys, and I expect you guys to go far once again this year.
Thanks again. Good luck to everybody out there.